President William Ruto's move to institute a fertilizer subsidy program, reducing the cost of the farm input from 6,500 shillings to 3,500 shillings, has been lauded by many. However, players in the food security industry say it's not sufficient to address the food shortage situation in the country. The players are urging the government to revive agricultural farm extension services popular in the 1980s to aid the narrowing of the wealth gap. The gap the farmers farm households and employ targeted solutions to farm based on their needs. Let's get more from our very own Chemtai Gowin.
William Ruto.
Hours after being sworn into office, President William Ruto literally hit the road running, fulfilling some of the pledges he made on the campaign trail, targeting the agriculture sector, which years ago was known to be the backbone of the country's economy. Today, however, many families are grappling with food shortage. President Ruto moved in to aid farmers increase production through a fertilizer subsidy initiative.
I appeal to county governments in eastern, central and western regions where we are expecting short rains to work with us in making sure that this fertilizer is available to all farmers in that region so that we can begin the journey to increase our food production initiatives.
While this is a welcome relief to farmers, experts in the food security sector termed the move a short-term plan, saying the country was literally scratching the surface in addressing food security from the farming point of view.
Climate change and the issues of weather patterns changing and becoming unpredictable requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of information, so that even when you're talking about fertilizer, someone knows when to actually plant. Whether it's a good idea to shift from what had been started, I think, in July with the UNGA subsidy to now looking into production, I think it's a good idea to go back to production and support production, because then when you support production, you are able to support availability of food.
In the president's declaration, he revealed that the government had sourced for 1.4 million bags of fertilizer to be distributed in eastern, central and the western part of the country, where short rains were expected.
He has recognized, and which is true, that Makueni, alongside other counties, are suffering from drought, and we expect short rains. In those short rains, the government of Kenya should release subsidized seeds so that we can grow the fast-growing crops that we can do in about a month or so, in the month of October.
4.2 billion shillings. That is how much that declaration costed Kenyans. The president also mentioned that the previous subsidy, they attempted, because it was highly unsuccessful. I never saw that packet of unga. I don't know if anyone saw it. But, that also consumed 7 billion shillings in 1 month only. So these subsidies are expensive. And that's why we are saying, why don't we address the root cause of the problem?
Atamba says the solution lies in the revival of agricultural extension services to empower farmers on sustainable farming methods to meet the ever-increasing demand for food, raise income and eventually bridge the poverty gap, which has been worsened by the rising cost of living.
If there's anything that this government can do, is to actually revive extension services so that we can be able to meet different farmers at their different needs. We need to be able to know which farmers need support in technologies and techniques to understand how to do water conservation, how to do irrigation. We need to know which farmers need to be able to be supported, how to do sustainable integration of animal production systems within their farms, so that we address this problem of overdependence on external inputs.
Statistics by Root for Food show that over 4.1 million Kenyans face the risk of starvation, with 1 million more children severely malnourished, requiring medical attention. And they warn that the situation could worsen due to the prevailing conditions. They are calling the government to action to ensure the situation is contained. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.